Hello, my name is Georgianne Ford with the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation. And I've asked one of our attorney mediators, Christine Lombardo-Zaun, to come back today and share with us not just about divorce mediation today, but I'd like to know, and I think you would like to know out there, a little more information about who she is and where she grew up and does she have children. So I'm going to just turn it over to Christina and ask her some questions and see what we can learn about Christine. So tell us, did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Did you have siblings?
So my background, I love my background. I was a really happy child. I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And so I was, I guess what you would call a dirt kid. I would go play in the dirt all day, every day that I could, riding my bike, just going outside for miles, playing with friends. I am the middle child. So I have an older sister, Lisa, and I have a younger brother. His name's Anthony Jr., but he goes by AJ. But then I have my own names for him. So probably can't disclose that on a video.
So tell us when how did you start your career? What path did you start with? And
which career? So
exactly. That's what we want to know.
Gosh, well, my background is, I have 2 undergraduate degrees in business and communications. And so I graduated undergrad and went and earned my MBA. Mm-hmm. But I always wanted to be a lawyer. So that was always this lingering urge that I had for years and years and years. But prior to law school, I worked mostly in different sales positions. And so I had a really great sales career, working in different industries, different groups of people. I managed different teams that were, my gosh, some of my most exciting professional times. But then I went to law school later in life. It was either that or buying the beach house. So I chose to go to law school. And I'm really glad that I did, because I graduated law school. It was, a difficult time in the market. So I hung my own shingle and started my own law practice. And
that was such a big decision to just jump right in by yourself.
It wasn't for me because I had worked for how many years in business. And having my MBA, I really wasn't afraid. Actually, that's what I preferred. I didn't want to work for other people. It wasn't a good fit for me. So I wanted to hang my own shingle, and I've been blessed. Word of mouth referrals, and, I get to choose the clients I want. And knock on wood, I've had amazing clients.
So how did that lead up to you also being part of the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation?
Well, it's funny you ask that question, because I tell my future clients this when I have a consult with them. So if anybody's going to come and meet with me, you're going to hear me say this. I found Alpha. I'm in my 5th year now with Alpha. And so it seems kind of surreal, but I had been doing divorce litigation, and there was a case where the couple literally fought for a week over a $20 wall hanging. Mm-hmm. And if you saw the wall hanging, you just drop your mouth to the floor. Okay, because it really wasn't worth it. But they were fighting over it, and it was important to them. But the problem that I had was it cost my client $1,600 in billable time. And that was with me, discounting and being reasonable. And I said, this is not how I want to earn my keep. Yeah, it's easy money, but we didn't really get anything resolved.
Right.
And so I, at that point, was like, I need to do something. I was a natural mediator. And so I'm very connected on LinkedIn. I love networking. I love meeting new people. And so I found Alpha, and I called Keila, the owner, and we had a really nice conversation. And it turned out that she needed a mediator in the Lehigh Valley. And I wanted to get away from the ugly parts of divorce litigation. And it's been great.
So what tell us a little bit about your role now at the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation.
So now I'm a divorce mediator for the Alpha Center. So I'm considered like an independent contractor. So I still have my full-time gig at the college at Cedar Crest College. And so there's a nice balance. But what I do is I am the mediator for the Lehigh Valley and surrounding areas. So it's nice to have someone local.
Right. I'm just so with you working with the clients and the road that you took, what would be, what do you wish you knew 10 years ago that you know now?
Gosh, so many things, but we don't have time for all of that. But if I had to pick one relating to this, I would probably say I wish I had gone through a divorce myself.
I was going to ask you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it was not too long ago, a couple years ago. But I wish, and I don't want to say this, it's not going to come off the way I want it to, but, I wish I knew now what I knew 10 years ago relating to divorce and how it feels. Because the one thing I learned from my divorce was how I felt. And now I can see how my clients are feeling. I know what their expressions mean now. And I didn't know that, a couple years ago when I wasn't divorced. So kind of seeing that and feeling that has made me a more effective mediator.
Sure.
Definitely. I look at it completely just through a different lens. So I wish I would have known that a long time ago. But I'm that kind of person where I don't wish divorce on anybody.
Right.
I'm always trying to make sure, if there's any chance for reconciliation, yes, you go for that. But I'm the divorce mediator that, listen, if divorce is the option, the only option, which it is in many cases, then I think, mediation is the only way to go. And I love the approach that I take with Alpha. It's holistic. It's the healthiest way that I have seen couples being able to divorce. And so, I've saved them a lot of money, my clients.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get to see the savings because the only way to see that would be to go through divorce litigation and compare, and they don't want to do that. But so it's been very, very fulfilling work.
Well, just in doing these interviews with the different attorney mediators, I can really, the compassion and the empathy there is what we miss in so many places. And so this is a time when we really need it. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for having that compassion and empathy. We can tell that you have.
It's what I love to do. So it's easy for me.
That's great. One last question. What advice would you give? I mean, you made a big jump to move into getting that law degree. What advice would you give to someone that's thinking about, I might want to be a mediator. I might want to go into law and move towards mediation?
Well, I think you have to have the right personality for it. Being a mediator requires a lot of skills like patience, good listening skills, good organizational skills. I think good strategic thinking skills. For me, I needed something to fit with my life schedule. And I also wanted something where I wasn't in court fighting with other attorneys or fighting, with schedules and then dealing with clients who were trying to jab each other's eyes out. I didn't want any of that. So the kind of work that mediation brings it's just a different vibe. It's professional. The people that come to the table, yes, they're hurting. Yes, they're angry. They do want to get divorced, but they're also not trying to jab each other's eyes out. They're trying to just get through a difficult time as quickly as they can. And so you just need a personality that can handle that.
Right.
And I think the empathy and the compassion is important. Right. Not that litigators don't have that. I know they do. It's not always necessary to have that in the courtroom. Right. That's not your job. Your job's to be an advocate. So
Well, one thing I can just see from this interview is this: you're fulfilled. I mean, the work that you do is fulfilling to you.
Very much.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you. Thank you for being our guest. I know this was short, but we certainly got to know you more than we did before this interview. If any of you are interested in speaking with Christina or speaking with any of our attorney mediators, 1-800-310-9085. Any of them are happy. They're all easy to work with, and they're all compassionate. So please give us a call. Christina, thanks for being our guest, and come back with some of that good wisdom again.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Same here.